Yeah, hi peeps, it's Tersse back in the old squat box once again, enjoying a little bit more of the wine. I recently did a wine taste video on, and yeah, it's beautiful. I'm really enjoying it, and it has increased in value. Still don't think it was worth the £15 a bottle I paid for it, but it's getting close to the 14 by now, you know. Anyway, this is a video going on about you know, free will and that kind of fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? I don't really like doing these videos because I'm not exactly what you would call a philosopher. Although I think I probably understand a little bit more about the idea of free will than some of the proponents who say that there is no such thing as free will. The reason I say that is because of what's his fucking name? I've just been watching a video recently by, what's his name? Sam Harris. Right? So Sam Harris, yeah, nice guy. It's one of his older videos from some time ago in Vancouver, and he says that you know, he doesn't want to give people you know, mental problems by, you know, disavowing them or the idea that they have free will. But he does go on then to say that what we now know about the reality of the universe should give us, you know, give us time to stop and reevaluate our what was this? Our judicial system and our judicial and legal system of incarceration and stuff like that. Now, I don't get why he would say that we don't have free will and therefore we have to reassess our judicial and legal system and perhaps have to rewrite it. Because that then is a choice. But if what he's saying is we don't have any free will, then you don't have the choice to reassess the legal system and to change the laws and the incarceration of people who break the laws, because that in itself is a choice which involves free will. If you don't have free will, Mr. Sam Harris, then we don't have the choice to change our judicial and legal system. So what is he saying? Well, he doesn't like the choices that people have made in the past and he wants them to make better choices in the future, because now you don't have free will, what you've got to make the choices that you've decided are good choices. This is what I try to get across to people. It might be that on a, you know, a tiny particle level of an atom doesn't have a choice where it's going. A planet doesn't really have a choice what it's doing. But we are not planets and we're not atoms. We are made up of atoms, but we are not atoms. And the whole fact that we are probably one of the most unique things in the universe, you know, consciousness, I do believe that that brings us above the level of a planet captured in a gravity well, or an atom speeding through the universe, only moving in the direction it's moving in because of the energy that pushed it off in that direction in the first place. It had no choice of what was happening to it. It has no choice of where it's going to end up. Just like a planet has no choice of, you know, the orbit it takes. It's the gravity well that controls its, you know, orbit, simply based on how much gravity there is on the thing that's pulling it, and how much mass it has, and how much momentum. We don't live on that base level. We are a different animal altogether. And that's why I do believe that human beings do have free will. Don't get me wrong, I do believe that there's lots of stuff that affect where we start from. Myself, I was born in a country that teaches English, and therefore I didn't grow up speaking Pakistani or Chinese. I had no choice over that start. But I could choose through my life to either learn Pakistani or Chinese. So there was a choice. That's not free will. You know? It's not free will that I'm English. But I have the free will to end up sometime through my life to speak Chinese, Korean, you know, Pakistani. I have also got the choice to, you know, not murder people that have done nothing towards me, and there is the possible chance that I was born damaged and was a psychopath, and actually liked the idea of you know, torturing people or killing people for the sake of my pleasure. But even that person who murders and kills people for their own pleasure still has the free will to choose who they're going to kill and murder. You understand what I'm saying? So even when you look at the most fucked up kind of person you could think of, they still have the free will to pick and choose who they are going to do horrible things to. You know? So this free will thing, does it really exist? Well, I think it does. You know, people are predisposed to do the things that they're predisposed to do. That doesn't mean that they are absolutely without any choices in their life. I mean, you don't see, you know, crazy murderers just running about the street and saying, oh, do you know, I fancy, you know, killing that person there. I'm just going to walk over and do it down the street. Very few people do that, and the people who actually do that, people who walk into schools and shoot, you know, 26 people, they normally, you find out, they are completely without any attachment to the real world, the reality that we live in, and they've got no consequences in their head because they don't understand consequences. That's a different thing from the norm. I mean, you even find particles, you know what I mean, that fly through space which are abnormal. They don't act like normal particles. You can't detect them with normal detection devices. So even certain particles in space are different from all the other particles, you know. But they still act as particles, and people still act as people, you know. Even the crazy people act like people. They still make choices. They make the decision when they're going to do these crazy things. Do we know why they make the choices that they make? When they make those? No, we don't know that, but they're definitely making choices. They definitely have some kind of will to decide not to do it today, but to do it tomorrow. Now, I would say that that actually indicates free will. It might be a limited will, so it's not totally free, but what do we mean by free? I'm not totally free, I'm restricted by the laws of the society that I'm brought up in. And that society pretty much does a pretty good job trying to educate and bring me up with the mores, the morals, and understanding of the legal system within the society that I was brought up in. And if I go to a different country, I will find that those laws, mores and morals change. The language changes, the attitude towards certain things, like dress codes, verbalisation changes. My God, you've only got to go on the internet, and even on the internet, different forums, different chat rooms will have different laws and different understandings of what's acceptable as common courtesy, or just the normal way that you do things. And this is why when you go into people's chat rooms, they will have printed up, please see the rules to coming on this chat room and talk. And that's a choice. I can choose either to obey those rules or not obey those rules and get banned. I can choose not to even be on that site and go to another site. I have choices that I make all the time in my life, you know. On the internet, in real life, with my family, with friends, with neighbours. I have choices I make all the fucking time, right? Now, is that a semblance of free will? Because remember, some people I meet I'm very nice to. I want to be nice to them. Other people I meet, I don't want to be nice to them. You know, I make that choice. It's not like I'm the same with every single person I meet in my life. So what is it that makes me able to make a distinction between being nice to one person, not swearing at them, not calling them cunts, and other people which I automatically want to fucking call cunts, you know? What makes me be like that? What is it in my brain that allows me to distinguish between one person I will treat nice and a person I will treat bad? What is it that does that? Is it not free will? Are you trying to say there's some atom speeding through the universe that smacks into my brain and makes me think I'm just going to treat that person bad, you know? And it's got nothing to do with my past relationship with them. You know? Maybe somebody I grew up with who was horrible to me all the way through school, and I become, you know, an adult, I leave, I get a job, and then 10 years later I meet them and I recognise them as a wanker in school, and what I immediately start treating them, fuck you, fuck off, I'm not going to talk to you, you prick, I remember you from fucking school. Is that not a choice I've made? Is that not free will? You know? And yet I meet someone else I knew at school 10 years ago and I start treating them nice. So it's not just because I knew them 10 years ago that I'm treating them this way, it's because I know the past history. So I have memory. Atoms don't have memory, well, not like human beings do, you know. And you'll see that even animals have free will. Even animals that don't have our culture. You see how they interact with other species and other members of their own species, who they have a history with, and they would treat them differently. So even animals have free will. They make choices.